What did God ever do for you in this life? Well, besides sending you to kill other people in another country, why did they give you a gun?
To kill.
To kill. So why are you deceiving my people? People are sitting there and are shocked, basically.
It turned out that I saw I had debts and overdue payments, and my relationship with my girlfriend was getting bad.
Because you ran out of money.
Well, yes.
Where did you get the drugs and what did you do with them?
Well, we kind of talked about it with her. They needed a courier there.
Why did you decide to change cities?
Because my relationship with her was already terrible. She started cheating there. Our team leader saw it. He poked his head out, saw it, and said, "Come on, guys, shoot at the FPV drone. Shoot it down."
Did you shoot it down?
No, it actually flew right into our commander.
Was the one who was buried still alive?
Yes, he was alive.
Did he say anything to you like...
He was shouting, "Yes, help." But if we started digging him out, we all would have ended up as 200s there.
Got it.
How are you?
So, how did you manage to end up there?
Well.
How did you go to the special operation?
Oh, so they didn't even know you went?
No, they knew I was going.
Did they force you, like by force? I say, I don't know where he is. He left home and that's it, disappeared. Look, you left home, right, about 1.5 years ago. And look where you are now. In just a year and a half, look where you've ended up.
Okay, all right. Introduce yourself to the broken Samsung camera.
This is confidential information. You don't need it.
Born in June 2005.
Born in 2005. How old are you?
20.
20?
Yes.
Choose. Loans or prison time. Alimony. But you probably don't have that yet. And what are you nationality-wise?
Uzbek.
Uzbek. And you're probably not a patriot.
Loan.
Loan. Go on. Do you consent to the recording and publication of this conversation?
I consent.
Speak louder.
I consent.
That's it. All right, good. Do you have a passport from that stinky country?
I do.
When did you get it?
Well, when I was about 4 to 5 years old, still in childhood.
What do you mean, 4 to 5 years old? You couldn't have gotten a passport at 4 years old.
Well, my mom told me I got it when I was a child, when we came here to Russia.
Where exactly? You're in Ukraine.
Well, when I came to Russia.
And when did you come?
I was 4 years old.
And they made you a passport at 4 years old, right? So you mean they took you to the passport office, took a photo of the child and issued a passport?
That's what my mom told me.
Have you seen your passport?
Yes.
When did you get it?
Well, I saw my passport when I was 14.
Were you a little 4-year-old in it?
No, but that's what my mom told me.
Can you think?
Yes.
Let's think about it. Did your mom tell you the truth or not?
Well, it turns out it wasn't true.
So it wasn't true. Why is that?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen a document with a little kid, like a 4-year-old, 2-year-old, or 5-year-old?
No.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Let's think about it. You can think, right? You said it yourself. Why aren't there documents for such little people? There must be an answer to this question.
Well, there should be. So I got it at 14.
So you got it at 14. Why not at 4, 5, or 6?
Well, my mom said that I already had citizenship at that age. That is, that I was a citizen.
Speak louder. All right, good. Next. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have.
How many?
An older sister and an older brother. 2.
Do you know their birth dates?
Yes. Brother, born August 17th, 1908. Sister, September 21st, 1992.
What do they do? What's your brother's name and your sister's?
My brother's name is Uzbek.
How's that?
Uzbek.
Uzbek.
And my sister's name is Barnakan.
Bano.
Barnakan.
Barnakan.
Yes.
Uh-huh. What do they do?
Well, my brother is a carpenter, a joiner working in construction and finishing.
Yes.
That's it. And my sister is a hairdresser.
Sister is a hairdresser.
Sister is a hairdresser, yes.
Got it. Where are they located?
In Ufa, Russia.
In Ufa, Russia. Do you have a father and mother?
Yeah.
What's their names? What do they do?
My mother's name is Orun.
How's that?
Orun.
Orun?
Orun.
Orun?
Yes. And my dad's name is Jabir Khan.
Jabir Khan. What does your mother do?
My mother is a baker, a confectioner.
Uh-huh.
Well, she used to work as a kindergarten teacher back in Kyrgyzstan, where I was born. My father is also a baker. That's it. But he bakes flatbreads, the usual stuff.
They're in Ufa.
Yeah, sometimes in Ufa.
What did he do this year?
This year he worked at a gas station.
When did he last bake flatbreads?
Well, about 2 years ago.
And then at the gas station.
Yes. And now, well, he's older already.
Do you have your own apartment in Ufa or is it rented?
A private house.
A private house?
Yes.
Your own?
Well, yes.
Got it. All right. Oh. What's your education level?
9 grades.
9 grades. Why didn't you continue studying?
Well, I couldn't quite handle the program.
You said you know how to think.
Well, it was a bit difficult, that's why.
Speak louder.
It was a bit difficult.
Can you speak like that all the time?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead. How did you do in school?
Mostly got 3s and 4s. Sometimes I got 5s. Well, in crafts. Got a 4 in shop class.
And what subjects did you get 5s in?
Well, sometimes in PE, in
Singing.
IT, in singing.
In IT. A hacker?
Well, sort of.
Sort of a hacker.
I wouldn't say I'm much of a hacker, just, well, I know a little.
What are you knowledgeable about?
Well, in various functions. I mean,
Come on, tell me about 3 functions. Look, you said yourself, I know about various functions.
well, not really. I know a little.
Just tell me a little.
I have some understanding.
Tell me a little about 3 functions. Hacking. A topic, right?
Well, like arbitrage, yes. Stuff like that.
What is it? Arbitrage.
Well, arbitrage. So it's like this. So there are tokens, a coin you can buy for a low price and sell for a higher one.
Uh-huh.
That's basically it.
Are you into arbitrage?
No, I just know people who work in it.
How much did you lose on coins?
Well, I just talk to these people and
No, did you trade yourself?
no.
So why are you saying you know about it then? Let's move on to the next topic. That's not even a topic if you've never traded yourself. Never did any arbitrage.
Well, that's basically it.
So you say, I'm a hacker I know about.
Well, sort of, a little bit.
Then tell me something in hacker language. I'm curious myself. Maybe I want to become a hacker too. I see. You're not much of a hacker, so let's move on. What year did you graduate from school? Or we can keep talking hacker stuff.
No, let's move on.
Enough?
Yes, enough.
Embarrassed?
Well, yeah.
That was a fail, huh?
Well, yeah.
Just louder.
In 2021. Here you go. I graduated from school.
Which one?
In Kyrgyzstan, in the city of Osh.
So now I have no idea where you were born?
Born in Kyrgyzstan.
In Kyrgyzstan. What's your nationality?
Uzbek.
You came to Russia when you were 4 years old.
Yes.
Because you had a child's passport then. That special kid's passport. A passport for a 4-year-old. That's what you said. I'm not making it up.
Well, yes, that's what my mom told me.
And why the hell did you finish school in Kyrgyzstan instead of Russia?
Well, I studied in Russia.
Uh-huh.
Here you go. Then we went to Kyrgyzstan.
Why did you go there?
Well, Dad said my upbringing was getting spoiled in Russia. I was starting to get involved with bad company there.
So, to put it another way, when did you come to Russia and when did you leave?
Well, we periodically left and came back.
Uh-huh.
So when I was 4, we came, and at 13 we went back. More precisely, I was sent back. And I studied. I studied in a madrasa. That is, it's a school.
Where did you study?
In a madrasa.
In Greece?
Madrasa. Yes, it's a school, well, for Muslims, where they teach the Quran.
What's your faith?
Muslim. Islam.
Islam.
Yes.
Have you read the Quran?
Yes.
Do you have it?
No.
Why not?
Well, it's really long. I was just learning it, so it takes a really long time to study. And it takes at least 3 to 4 years to read, learn something, understand.
Do you pray?
Yes, I do.
Here in prison?
I do.
How many times a day?
3 times a day.
Why are you thinking so hard?
Actually, it's supposed to be 5 times.
Uh-huh.
But you can combine them.
Uh-huh. I know perfectly well. Pretty soon I'll know about every religion. I like Buddha the most. How is Islam different from Buddhism?
Honestly, I don't even know how to explain.
In Russian, how to explain?
Well, Buddhists are those who, well,
Uh-huh.
believe in Buddha. That's it.
Makes sense. If they're Buddhists, they believe in Buddha.
Yes.
Well, Muslims believe in Allah, right? Uh-huh. And who do Orthodox Christians believe in? Christians.
In Jesus.
In Jesus. Uh-huh. So how many gods are there?
Turns out 3.
Are you crazy?
Well,
What does it say in your book?
God is one. Well,
Well. So is it 1 or 3?
Jesus is the Son of God.
Do you want to talk about the Quran with me?
No.
What? I'm actually an atheist. What's an atheist?
A non-believer.
Why?
Well, an atheist.
Why am I a non-believer and you're a believer?
I don't know. Well, actually, an atheist, I've heard that.
What did God ever do for you in this life? Well, besides sending you to kill other people in another country. Well, right?
Right.
You're at war, right?
At war.
Running around with a gun.
Well, yes.
Why did they give you a gun?
To kill.
To kill. What does the Quran say about killing?
That you can't kill people.
So what? What did we Ukrainians do to you, Uzbeks?
Nothing.
So why the hell did you come here to kill us? Where's the logic? Where's the connection?
I don't know.
Okay? You finished school there? In Kyrgyzstan?
Yes.
In which city?
Well,
Which one?
gosh.
Osh. Yes, there's such a city. Are you from Osh?
Yes, that's all. All my family, yeah.
Mm-hmm. In 2001, you finished 9 grades of middle school in Osh.
Well, yes, I finished 9th grade there.
Why didn't you continue studying? Got into hacking, I see. You were into arbitration. VPNs.
Well, I was talking to such people. I know them.
What did you do next?
Then I worked with my brother,
What does your brother do?
carpenter, joiner.
There in Kyrgyzstan?
No, in Russia.
When did you return to Russia?
Turns out from 11 to 12 years old, I studied in a madrasa. Then we went back. Well, came to Russia with my father and continued studying there. That's it. And just, studied.
Okay, we've already covered that. In 2001, you finished 9 grades. What happened next in 2001? That was 4 years ago. That was literally yesterday. I remember what I did in 2001. Don't mess around.
Well, we arrived.
Where?
Well, back to Ufa.
To Ufa.
No, we first came back to Sterlittermark because we lived there in Sterlittermark. Well, it's also a city 120 kilometers from Ufa.
Uh-huh.
So we lived there in a village.
Uh-huh.
So I studied there
Uh-huh.
from 15 years old until 14. Oh, until 15. Then we went back to Kyrgyzstan
Uh-huh.
to finish 8th and 9th grade.
Uh-huh.
I finished 9 grades, came back and started working with my brother.
There in Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah, I finished.
Graduated. 2001. Next.
So, yes, came back and started working with my brother. Basically, I was helping him out.
Return to Stelitamak.
Yes, to Sterlittermark. That's it. Well, we traveled around construction sites, department.
How long did you work like that?
Well, until I was 18.
Until what year?
All right. If I'm 20 now, well, until 23.
So from 2000.
Oh, until 24. It's already 2026 now.
Wait, what 2001? You didn't finish school in 2001, but in 2021.
In 2021, yes.
So why are you deceiving my people? People are sitting there and are shocked, basically. In 2001, how old were you?
I wasn't born yet.
Exactly. So why are you misleading us? Give me your hand. I'm about to burn it. Busted. Well.
So I arrived.
You finally got out of school in 2021. I just can't understand logically anymore. At 21, you dropped out of school and returned to Russia, to Sterlitamak. For 2 years, until you were 23, you worked with your brother on construction sites.
Yes.
What next? Hallelujah. We figured it out.
Yeah. After that, we moved to Ufa.
Yes, at 23 to Ufa, what was there?
Yeah.
Phew, damn. Raise the cardiogram. Uh-huh.
So we moved, bought a plot, and built a house. And then, well, continued working there with my brother. I mean, the whole family.
Where were your parents?
In Ufa. We moved there as a family.
Got it. In Ufa. From 23 until when?
Well, until I turned 18, we worked together. Then with my brother.
When did you turn 18? In 23.
Well, if I'm 20 now. Then June 27th, 2024. Or 23.
Dude, you can't figure out 3 years.
In 2024?
What happened in 2024? You turned 18.
Yes. Or in 23.
In 23, because what year were you born?
2005.
You turned 20 this year.
In 2025?
In 2025. So 2 years ago you were 18.
Yes.
That was 2023.
2023.
What did you do in 23?
I turned 18 and I ran away from home.
Why did you run away from home?
Well, because everything was forbidden to me and, well, I couldn't even just go out, just be there.
Why was everything forbidden to you? Were you a problem kid, always getting into trouble?
Well, they were just afraid I'd get into a bad path, a bad crowd, and that I'd start, singing and something else.
So there were incidents?
There weren't, but they were afraid.
So you ran away?
Yes. I kind of got tired of it all. That I was constantly restricted in everything. I decided to live independently.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So I left home. Not even 2 months went by. It just didn't work out. It didn't come together. I went back.
What did you do for 2 months?
Well, I went back to Sterlitamak.
Uh-huh.
Found a girlfriend there. And then...
So did you work?
At that time, I didn't work. I started taking loans, living on loans. Yeah.
Microloans, right?
Well, yes, microloans, loans.
How many loans did you take out in those 2 months?
Around 100,000.
Those are without collateral, without anything. You come in and they give it to you with just a passport and code.
Yeah, mostly at Tinkoff's.
Uh-huh.
So, that's it.
You racked up 100,000. What did you do with them? Hung on them.
Well, yes. Spent it on rent, housing, and food.
Uh-huh.
And so on.
And then what happened?
So then, it turned out that I saw I had debts and overdue payments, and my relationship with my girlfriend was getting bad.
Because you ran out of money.
Well, yes, that's it. After that, I called my brother, and he told me, yes, come back. And there's no point in wandering like this. Yeah. So I went back home.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
What did they say to you at home?
Well, they said, well, you wanted to live alone, live independently. So how was it?
Did you like it?
Not really, with such debts.
Mm-hmm. So how much did you end up owing in loans and penalties?
Then I left home again.
When?
Well, I stayed for about 3 or 4 months.
What did you do?
Still worked with my brother. After that, well, I left for good.
Did you pay off your debts?
No, they only increased.
Again, basically. Basically, you left again in the winter of 23.
Yes. And already, well,
Didn't come back?
didn't come back.
You haven't been home since 23.
Well, I visited occasionally, just stopping by, really.
Did you actually work or were you just goofing off?
Just walked around.
Did you take out loans, pawn stuff?
Mostly took loans, yes.
How many loans do you have now?
Around 600, but with interest, it's already about 1 million.
What did your parents say to you?
They said I was.
Go ahead with swearing.
Well, that I'm an idiot, you know. They said, come on, go back home.
Did you ever move back in?
Just came to spend the night
Uh-huh.
here. And, well, they told me, you won't get very far. You'll end up sleeping in a dump on the street. It's better to live with us, and you'll have everything. A car, a house, and so on.
When was this?
Well, it was about 2 to 3 months after I left.
Uh-huh. So where were you in 2024? Wandering around, drifting? Were you just hanging around?
Well, in Ufa, I was going to clubs.
Yeah, just hanging around,
With
basically.
girls, yeah. That's it. After that, everything was on credit. Things started going downhill.
In short. Okay, go on.
And then, that's all. I started traveling to different cities. Here.
Why?
Well, in Ufa, I had nothing left, not even documents. Because I was just wandering around, I turned to a workhouse. Here. And they sent me to Togliatti the same day. They told me, if you stay here, you'll keep living like this.
Who sent you to Togliatti?
The people from the workhouse organization where they help restore documents. Here.
You went to Togliatti.
Yes, I went to Togliatti.
When was this?
So basically, closer to 2025,
Uh-huh. Go on.
I went to Togliatti. Oh no, it was actually after 2025.
It was already 2025.
Yes.
This year.
Yes. I went to Togliatti closer to summer.
Basically, you went to Togliatti in April.
Yes. Well, it was still raining there. Summer was just starting.
Uh-huh.
I stayed there for a month in that workhouse. I worked. I got a new phone there, and they were supposed to make the documents in 2 days.
How much did they pay you?
10% of the revenue. So if they give you a job, like an order to go and, for example, change something in plumbing or electricity, if they would get, for example, 5,000 or 6,000 for the job.
You'd get 500 or 600 rubles.
Yes.
Yes, go on.
Well, I lived there for a month like that, and that's it. 2 days before I was supposed to leave, they told me my documents were ready. And I met a girl. And I left the workhouse.
What's her name?
Her name was Katya.
Uh-huh.
So I met her.
When did you leave the house? Well, give or take the date, we need to understand the timeline.
I left for the second time. I had already left the house. So I arrived at 18, stayed there for 2 months. I came back after 4 months. That was already July, August, September, October. I left in October.
2025?
Approximately, yes, in October.
October was 3 months ago.
Well, exactly, yes.
2 months ago. Yes, 2 months ago.
So in June, things hit me. June, July. I stayed, then returned. August, September, October.
Speak louder.
So in October, closer to November, I left for the second time. That's it. So after that, that's how my life started going. I came to Tolyatti, stayed in the workhouse for a month. After that,
When did you go to war?
I signed a contract for the war on September 30th. This was already this year, 2025. Yeah, 2025. Well, I got caught there. To the detectives. I was arrested.
For what?
Well, for drugs.
228.
Yes. That's it. I signed the contract on September 30th.
Uh-huh.
And they took me from there on November 7th. They took me on November 7th. We arrived in Voronezh. There they assigned us to a direction, to a regiment. And from there, they took us the same day.
Hold on. In short, you probably didn't understand anything, just like me, but in a nutshell. He'd been running away from home since 2023. Meanwhile, he was living large on credit, and everything seemed fine. Then he started having money problems. He was 700,000 in debt. He went to Tolyatti, to the workhouse, and from there, he worked there, didn't manage to restore his documents, right?
Yes.
Didn't have time to restore the documents, met Katya. And what did this Katya tell you?
Well, nothing at all. We were just relaxing together. She was on vacation from work.
Uh-huh. What did she do?
She worked as a merchandiser at Magnet.
Aha.
So,
You found it on Telegram, I assume. Making stashes. Or what? Where did you get the drugs and what did you do with them?
well, we kind of talked about it with her.
Did she suggest it to you?
Well, how to say, I was interested in it myself before. So,
Did you use drugs yourself?
yes, I did.
What did you use? How long did you use it?
Well, 2 months.
When was that? Was it this summer?
Yes.
Together with her?
Yes, together with her.
That's why he has memory and fact issues. Because how long did you use it?
2 months,
2 months.
almost every day.
Oh, every day?
Yes, periodically. Sometimes I went on a binge for 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, well, he's lost it, right? Okay. What does the Quran say about drugs? Dope? Grass. Did you read anything like that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. And I don't remember either, because I haven't read it. Well, I think it should be something like that. What does the Quran say about drugs?
Well, it's a sin, it's forbidden.
Mhm.
Yes.
So don't say you're a Muslim. Got it?
Got it.
You shouldn't lie. First of all, don't lie to yourself or to others.
Yes, I just corrected myself.
Good. How were you received and what did you have?
Well, actually, I worked at a store that, well, you could say belonged to the police.
Uh-huh.
And they calmly figured me out. In general. So I came to pick up the drugs.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
And that's where they picked you up.
yes.
And then the detectives, well, it was just boring and tedious. The cops told you either go to war, sign a contract, or you'll end up in jail.
Or you'll go to jail, yeah. So I agreed to do time. So I ended up in pretrial detention.
Uh-huh.
The first month was really tough.
Why was it tough?
Well, because I've never been in jail before. And,
There's a first time for everything. You're Russian, you have a Russian passport.
well, yes, my passport is Russian.
Well, if a Russian hasn't been in jail, they're not really Russian. Go on.
And then
How long were you in pretrial detention?
almost 2 months.
Uh-huh. Didn't like it?
Not really.
Not really.
Well, that's how I ended up there.
Did they pick up your girlfriend?
No, she was in another city. I had already come to Tambov, from Tolyatti to Tambov. That's how it was. They suggested it, and I personally asked the curator if I could move to another city. He told me, yes, to Tambov. That they needed a courier there.
Why did you decide to change cities?
Because my relationship with her was already terrible. She started cheating there.
Did you talk to your family?
Yeah, I did. I talked to my mom.
Did your parents know? Got involved with drugs?
Yes, they knew.
What did they tell you?
Well, mostly my brother told me that.
Okay, good. When did you sign the contract and when did you leave prison?
I signed the contract on September 30th.
Yes.
I was taken on November 7th.
On the 7th?
November 7th.
Signed on September 30th? Waited a month.
Yes, I was taken on November 7th. So they took us from there to Voronezh, and on the same day, we were taken to Lugansk.
Uh-huh.
By the night of the 8th, we were already in Lugansk.
Uh-huh.
We trained there.
How long did you train?
5 to 6 days.
Which unit did you join?
Well, I only know the regiment.
Which one?
31st Motorized Rifle Regiment, 25th Army. So we arrived in Lugansk, there, from the 8th, up to the 13th, even the 14th. On the 14th, we were already...
Trained for a week?
Yes, about that. On the morning of the 14th, we left, and they took us to Kremenaya. So there, basically, we were brought in. We were brought there.
How many combat missions did you have?
1.
When were you captured?
November 26th.
Okay, go ahead. What was your assignment? Where did you go and what were you supposed to do?
The assignment was this. There were 10 of us. The first group of 5 was sent. Then they sent the second group of 5. That was our group of 5.
When did you set out?
The first group set out since we arrived there on the 14th. They headed out. So after 5 days of training, they set out on the 20th, and we set out on the 21st. This way.
Uh-huh.
The task was for 10 people to capture 10 bunkers. That's it.
10 people to capture 10 bunkers?
Yes, 10 bunkers. And now we set out. They took us, driven to point 0 in a pickup. From point 0 we set out. So 2 of them stayed back at point 0, and 3 of us were split up. They took the 3 youngest, led us, and we. We set out, walked past the open area. That's it. And from there we walked 5 kilometers to the village of Kirovsk.
Uh-huh.
And from there it all started. That's when it all began. Birds started flying. Honestly, I don't know how we even got there. We walked calmly, nothing at all happened. We set out in the morning fog.
Uh-huh.
That's it. Just as it started to get light. The fog was lucky for us because there were no birds. We reached Kirovsk, and we're already approaching. That's it. And I saw the first bird flying on the wire. It was literally about 80 meters from us. I spotted it at the very last moment. I yelled to the guys, like, "Sit down, bird." So we all sat down. It flew at that level, and we waited for it to pass. It flew by.
Didn't see you.
No, but if it had seen us, we wouldn't have made it that far. That's it.
And were you wearing raincoats?
No, without cloaks.
Uh-huh.
Because it was bright. And we were met there. There were guys there who meet and send you further. The ones who come out from point 0.
Uh-huh.
We made our way through. We saw a house. It was about 100 meters away. We went further to that house, so there was the house and kind of a road. And the guys met us there and said, "Come here." We got there and stayed overnight. The next day it was already. That's it. We set out from there. Then we moved on in the morning, also in the fog. That's it. We walked about 800 meters. That's it. An FPV drone was flying. Our team leader saw it. He poked his head out, saw it, and said, "Come on, guys, shoot at the FPV drone. Shoot it down."
Did you shoot it down?
No, it actually flew right into our commander. It flew straight into his RD bag, his backpack. That's it.
200 degrees.
No, it tore up the RD bag, but nothing happened to him. Well, his lip got cut because he jumped right under it. So, yeah, the fact that he had the RD bag saved him, and the charge wasn't that strong, because if it had been, it would have torn him apart right there.
Go on.
After that, everything happened. The second one flew up, I saw it. I turned around, and the second one was already approaching. So, as I understood, those were just spotters. They were just watching where we ran, and that's it. Within a minute, mortars started firing at us, even within 30 seconds. We ran into a garage, and there was a house nearby. Someone ran out of the house and said, "Guys, don't come in here, keep running, hide." So we ended up running into the garage, An FPV drone flew into the garage. I see the doors are open. I went to the door, just closed it, and the FPV drone flew into the door. So I opened the door and ran into the shed. We went into the shed, and that's it. Mortars started firing at the shed. FPV drones started flying in. Eventually, we realized we needed to run into the house because there's a basement there. We ran into the basement, but they didn't let us in. There were 3 guys there, also ours. That's it. They didn't let us in, saying, "Guys, get out of here. They're going to fire at this house." We went upstairs. Turns out there were 2 tires there. The 3 of us ran into those 2 tires. We covered ourselves with cardboard and waited for them to stop firing at us. Over there.
What's the date today, the 23rd? The 22nd?
So it's still the 22nd going on.
Uh-huh.
We ran into the house. We went into these wheels. They were firing at us for about 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. Then it quieted down for about 15 minutes. Ran out of the basement. So who ran out? What's his name? His call sign is Geka. Geka ran out of the basement. He says, "Come on, guys, into the basement." We ran into the basement, and that's it. It was quiet for about 2 minutes. He says, "Guys, stick to the walls." Everyone sat against the walls. One of them crawled into this hole over there.
How many of you were there?
There were 6 of us, including me.
Uh-huh.
And then after 2 minutes, there were just 2 exits. One nearby, the other took a direct hit into this house. Everything was buried there. It collapsed under the slabs. Everything was buried. One was crushed immediately, 200. The other one was buried up to his waist. So the slab, half of it fell on him. So we just sat there.
Did you dig him out?
No.
Also 200?
Apparently, yes, 200.
Uh-huh, okay.
Then Baba Yaga came and everyone started clearing out. We sat there until 17. They were firing at us. We didn't move at all, because if we did, it would be obvious that we were alive. That's it. And after that, we would have been killed there. Closer to dark, there was no point in staying because the thermal imagers were working, and eventually they told us that we need to get out of here and hide.
Uh-huh.
Find basements, other houses, somewhere. In the end, 4 of us got out of there. It was me, Sting, and Rodnoy.
You left 2 behind.
Well, they stayed, yes.
Was the one who was buried still alive?
Yes, he was alive.
Did he say anything to you like,
He was shouting, "Yes, help." But if we started digging him out, we all would have ended up as 200s there.
Got it. So we don't leave our own behind, right?
Well,
You're not Russian. Oh no, Russian, we leave our own. All right, all good. Next.
then we got out of there.
All right, the 25th. How did you get captured and how many of you were captured?
2 of us were captured, me and Sting.
Where are the other 2?
One stayed where the guys met us.
Uh-huh.
One stayed there, he went that way. And Rodnoy, Sting, and I, we went. That's it. We were told, there was a command, they gave us a point, said we'd be met there. Guys, go there. So we went there. It was already dark. We spent the night in the nearest dugout. And we went in the morning, in the fog. Then we went about 800, 900 meters further, and they started firing at us with a machine gun. We were about 10 to 15 meters away from them. We were very close to them.
Uh-huh.
And then a drone spotted us. We didn't hear it and communicated that we were coming to be met. Just that.
Uh-huh.
Rodnoy was first, Sting second, I was third. Rodnoy was shot right there. That's it. We each had 1 magazine in our rifles.
Who captured you?
As I recall, the 2nd mortar battery. There was a mortar dugout there.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
So which brigade was it? Did they tell you?
No, they didn't say. I don't remember.
I see.
That's it. And that's it. After that,
So you ended up captured?
yes, captured.
Did you like it?
Well,
He doesn't care. Basically, he was on drugs. Were you on drugs?
no.
Why?
Because I didn't even try to find any there. Them.
How much money did they pay you for the contract?
I didn't even see my money.
Where's your card?
It stayed there.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Do you know me?
No, I don't know you.
All right. Actually, I don't care. What's your name?
Zabokerbek.
How's that?
Zabokerbek.
Basically, he's in captivity. Do you know that?
No, I don't know.
Now you know. My name is Dmytro. I'm a journalist from Ukraine. I'm interviewing him. If you want to talk to him, I need your consent to record and publish the conversation.
Yes, I agree, of course.
Okay, speak only in Russian. Got it.
Understood.
You don't say where you are, and you don't say who you're captured with.
Got it.
You can only name the KIAs, the ones who are already dead,
Understood.
because they watched the interview and crossed them off. Here.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
So, how did you manage to end up there?
Well,
How did you go to the special operation?
Oh, so they didn't even know you went.
no, they knew I was going.
Did they force you, like by force?
Well, yeah, something like that.
They didn't force you, don't lie.
Well, in general, how it was,
You need to tell the truth.
I signed it myself.
No one forced him. He went to kill us because he wanted to. Shit.
You were in the detention center.
Well, that's how it turned out.
Why did you go? Why? You could have stayed there.
Well, the sentence there. The sentence would have been pretty normal if they hadn't given it to me.
Did you really need this? Tell me.
How's mom and dad at home? Is everything okay?
Everything's fine, everything's fine. I'm building the house, finishing it. Renovations are in full swing. You could have stayed with me, walked here with me, helped out. So, what didn't suit you? I don't know. You don't listen to me at all, damn. You do everything the other way around. Do you understand that or not? Do you now understand that you were acting wrongly?
Well, I already realized that everything I did, that all of it, well, I shouldn't have done it. It was all in vain. That it was a very bad move.
Tell me. Compare yourself to me. I work, earn pennies, build a house. The kids are growing. And now look at yourself. What have you come to? Where are you? If you had listened to me, it would have been completely different.
I've already understood that.
Parents cry here every day. They say you don't get in touch. Where is he? Where is he at? I say, I don't know where he is. He left home and that's it, disappeared. But that's how I explain it to them. They cry every day. You're the youngest in the family. You understand, right?
Yes.
Your parents love you differently. What I do, they don't even notice or see it. I work hard day in and day out without weekends. They don't care. They miss you. Was this really what you needed, huh? You got caught there, sat in the detention center, signed the contract. Why? Why? I don't know. I don't understand the point. If you didn't do it, then why? You should have waited for the trial.
Well, they would have given me an even longer sentence if I had said what you did.
Let them prove it. They planted it on you, right? right?
Well, yes, but I had messages on my phone. That I worked there, everything was recorded on the phone, all the messages, photos, everything, and so on. So it was impossible to get out of it.
He's talking about something else, that you should have stayed.
Well, yes,
What was I supposed to do?
that I should have stayed. You're talking to me about something else.
Of course, you should have stayed. They would have fed you there. I don't know. We could have just come to see you whenever we wanted, and that would be it. Was it really necessary for you to go to the special operation, to this whole thing? I don't know. So, when are you coming home?
Well, I don't know yet. I hope so. Well, this year, I hope it.
Are you going to obey me?
Yes, I'll obey. I've realized my mistakes.
Or will you listen to Dad?
No, I'll listen to you. I've realized all my mistakes and understood that. Well, I acted wrongly and understood my mistakes.
Look, you left home, right? About 1.5 years ago. And look where you are now. In just a year and a half, look where you've ended up. Just 1.5 years.
Yes,
You sold everything you had. Left home. I don't know where you are, what you've been doing.
all right, I hope for the best now.
Now tell him what will happen to you after the exchange. Why aren't you going home?
Well, after the exchange, yes. Since I have a status, I'm kind of like a convict. They won't let me go home.
You?
Yes, only if they, and even then, only if you come to the unit and if they allow it, if we can meet. That's the only way.
They won't let you go home now?
No, only those who are there. With the military or conscripts, those who sign, they are released, given leave, but even that's not certain.
Why are you lying?
Well, even that's not certain. I just, well, don't know 100% for sure.
You know everything already. Why are you silent? There are those here who have been captured for the second time. And by the way, what about him? He's not a convict, he's a mobilized soldier. He has a prisoner here in jail. That's true? The one who was exchanged. Well, actually, he has memory problems. You know, right, that he was heavily into drugs.
I didn't know.
Didn't know? Why does he say he didn't know and you say you knew?
I knew. It's just that.
Just what?
Doesn't want to be on video.
Doesn't want to be on video. It's all recorded already. You understand, you who came to kill us. He's a complete drug addict. He was using every day for 2 months. He has mental problems. Just so you understand. That's why he speaks so heavily and unclearly. He's probably going through withdrawal now. Well, there's a prisoner here who was exchanged in the summer, mobilized soldier, and he was captured for the second time. Really?
True.
True. Why wasn't he released home? And you're actually under investigation. That's why after the exchange, he's in for another round. He's not going home. Huh?
Will they send him back to the detention center?
No, they'll send him back to the front lines, but this time to a penal battalion. He's basically a casualty. Can you survive?
What now?
Can you survive there?
Impossible.
Impossible. How many casualties did you see there?
A lot.
How many exactly?
They're lying on every meter.
They're lying on every meter. They kind of left their own under the slab. He was broadcasting there. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. They don't leave our own, so you can basically say goodbye to him. Because if there's an exchange, he'll be swapped. He really says you can come either to Podolsk or Mosrynchen. That's Moscow. You'll have an hour to talk to him. He won't go home. And we'll go back to fight. in the penal battalion. Here. So basically, you can consider that you don't have a brother anymore. Well, if the war ends tomorrow, I don't know when this video will come out. You can find it on YouTube. He tells everything there. Then he'll go to prison. Either speak or don't speak. I'm not going to wait for you to just stare at each other.
Alright then. Maybe we'll get in touch somehow when I arrive.
Where are you going to arrive? You won't have any connection.
When will you arrive?
I don't know. When there's an opportunity.
How many days there?
Well, I'm 2020, so it's November 26th. I've been captive since November 26th.
November 26th.
Yes.
So now it turns out, if there's an exchange, right? Exchange captivity, they'll bring you back and send you back to that place.
To the front.
That area.
To the front line. To the front line, yes.
You can't refuse anything, right? No way. You don't have the right anymore.
Well, how? If it's impossible to refuse there.
If you say everything, like I take responsibility for what I didn't do, what you're accused of.
Yes, no one cares. It doesn't matter there at all. Well, you understand yourself what Russia is like. That's why.
They set you up. What did you take on? I don't know about what you didn't do.
I had some correspondence.
Look. Don't try to deceive nature because it cannot be deceived, right? He used and stashed in Tambov. He was a courier. He was caught when he was picking up a master stash. Right? I don't know this. They brought him to me. I'm recording an interview with him. I've recorded 1,500 interviews on my channel with people like him. I haven't seen any innocent boys yet. They set him up. He's a professional drug dealer, a professional courier. Don't try to do anything. He won't return to prison anymore. Here. He was also talking about the Quran here.
Alright, then tell them I'm okay. Tell my mom and dad. Let them know I'm alive. Everything's fine. That's it.
And when can we meet?
It's unknown.
Mother, grandfather is sick. Dad, you know how he is.
Well, yes. Well, we'll see. For now, everything's fine.
What didn't suit you? I don't know. You had everything. Car, house, everything. That's it. I'm just speechless. Did you run yourself into trouble?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You ran yourself into trouble.
Alright then. Goodbye.
You have a sensible, normal brother. Only you. Your brother is normal, hardworking, and he tells you the truth. Don't mess around with these girls, with loans. Do you know how many loans he has?
I know. Probably around 1,500.
No, he told me a different number.
700.
And with penalties, how much is it now?
700, but with interest. It's already around 1 million.
Well, I had no doubt when you were planning to leave. I told you. You won't survive on the street because you... I told you right away. You'd better stick with me. I'll take care of everything for you. And what about you? You didn't listen to me. I told you. I'll buy a car, anything you want. You chose a different path.
Alright then, goodbye. Tell them, I'm okay.
Take care of yourself.
Take care.
As long as he's captive, he's alive. All right, take care. I see you're normal, sensible. Traditionally, our prisoner of war, that's you, addresses his compatriots, in your case, the Uzbeks. You can speak in Uzbek. Whether you should go to war or not, whether you should come to kill us or not, go ahead, speak in your language.
Akalar, ukalar, agar ko'rayotgan bo'lsalar bu videoni, men sizlarga maslahat bermayman. Bunaqa yo'lga qo'l urishga. Bu xato. Eng katta xato. Men shu xato ishni qildim. Sizlar qilmanglar. Chunki bu kunga tushdi даже meni hech kimga maslahat bermayman shunaqa kunga tushdi. Shuning uchun agar 1000 marta o'ylanib turib, endi qilinglar. 1000 marta o'ylanib.
Think carefully. Before you do anything, before you sign anything.
What did you just say?
Just that you shouldn't make these kinds of mistakes. Think, reconsider a million times before doing anything.
Write down, those who understand Uzbek, what he said if he said something wrong. He might have an interesting story, but that's not certain.